Disappearance of Flight 703. The sky has always carried its own legends, as ancient and terrifying as the ocean below. We have always looked upward, trusting thin aluminum and roaring engines to carry us safely over mountains and seas. But the sky has a memory, and sometimes it does not give back what it takes. Among the strangest cases of aviation history, there is one flight that refuses to fade, a disappearance so disturbing that even seasoned investigators will not speak of it in detail. The case of Flight 703, a passenger jet that left Anchorage in 1989 and never arrived in Seattle, remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in aviation history. On the evening of October 12, 1989, Flight 703, a twin-engine commercial airliner operated by North Pacific Airlines, taxied onto the runway at Anchorage International. The aircraft was modest, designed for regional flights, carrying a crew of 5 and 48 passengers. The manifest included businessmen, families to college students returning home, and a retired couple embarking on their final trip to the mainland. By all accounts, it was an ordinary flight, scheduled to take less than 4 hours. Weather conditions were favorable. The jet departed at 6:12 p.m., climbing steadily into a crisp Alaskan twilight. Radio contact was normal, controllers logging their ascent and course southward. But an hour into the flight, the first irregularity was noted. The aircraft began reporting interference. The co-pilot, identified as Peter Lawson, made a calm but unusual transmission. "Center, we're picking up some kind of echo on our radar. Looks like traffic, but it's not behaving like traffic." Requesting confirmation, controllers scanned the airspace. Nothing appeared on their scopes. No other aircraft were in the region. They cleared Flight 703 to continue. But minutes later, Lawson reported again. His tone was less steady. "It's still there. Lights off our left wing. Too fast for a plane. It's pacing us." The tower assured them they were alone, but the crew insisted. Both pilots claimed multiple objects were visible, glowing orbs moving in perfect formation, circling the aircraft before falling back. Passengers later identified in recovered audio from the cockpit voice recorder can be heard murmuring, some crying, as they looked from the windows. Then, suddenly, the lights were gone. Radar returned to normal. Flight 703 pressed on, though unease lingered. At 7:34 p.m., the cockpit voice recorder picked up something new. A low hum, faint but constant, resonating through the fuselage. It did not come from the engines, it did not come from the wind. The sound grew louder over the next half hour, vibrating through the walls, unnerving passengers who began to complain of nausea and dizziness. The flight attendants attempted to calm them, but their own voices betrayed unease. At 8:01 p.m., the pilot, Captain Raymond Torres, made a chilling report. His voice trembled, yet he spoke with professional clarity. "Seattle Center, we may have a problem. Instruments are unreliable. Altimeters fluctuating. Compass is slow. Request vectors to nearest safe airfield." The tower responded, providing bearings toward Juneau as an alternate landing site. But the crew argued in low tones, captured by the recorder, saying the readings made no sense. They were not sure of their position. One officer suggested they had drifted far off course, yet the fuel gauges still read normal. At 8:19 p.m., the last official transmission was made. Captain Torres, his voice breaking, said, "Unidentified visual ahead. It looks like a static cut the message. No more contact was received." The plane did not arrive in Seattle. It did not appear in Juneau. Search and rescue operations began immediately, covering thousands of square miles of airspace and coastline. No wreckage was found, no emergency beacon sounded. The jet had vanished entirely, but the story does not end there. 2 days later, a fishing vessel operating in the Gulf of Alaska reported a strange occurrence. At 2:46 a.m., their crew observed a streak of light descend into the sea, followed by what they described as a roar like 100 engines. The fishermen insisted it was not a meteor, not an ordinary crash. The water churned violently, glowing with pale green light, before settling into silence. No wreckage surfaced. Military radars in the area later admitted picking up anomalies at that same time, but details remain classified. Weeks turned into months. Families were left with no answers. Investigators concluded mechanical failure could not explain the complete disappearance. The official record lists Flight 703 as lost at sea, but survivors' families reported receiving phone calls, faint and garbled, long after the incident. One widow swore she answered her phone 2 weeks later to static and a voice that sounded like her husband. He repeated the same phrase over and over, "Still in the air, can't land." Others claimed to receive strange letters, unsigned, postmarked from distant towns, describing dreams of a sky that would not let go and lights circling forever. Authorities dismissed these as hoaxes, but families never stopped wondering. In 1993, hikers in British Columbia discovered a bizarre artifact deep in the wilderness, a passenger seat, twisted and scorched, its serial number traced back to the missing aircraft. The metal frame was warped as if subjected to extreme heat. But no crash site was nearby, no other debris was found. And then came the recording. In 1997, an amateur radio enthusiast scanning shortwave bands late one night captured a strange broadcast. It was faint, crackling, buried in static. But within it, the words were unmistakable. It was Captain Torres, his voice, weary, distant, repeating, "Seattle, this is Flight 703. Holding pattern, request clearance to land, fuel low." The recording sent waves of speculation through the aviation community. Was it a hoax? Was it some old transmission bouncing through the ionosphere? Or was it something far darker than echo from somewhere outside our understanding, a plane still circling endlessly in skies we cannot see? Even more disturbing were the background sounds on the tape. Not just static, not just the roar of engines, but a low hum, rhythmic and resonant, identical to the one recorded on the cockpit voice recorder minutes before the plane's disappearance. Over the years, legends have grown. Pilots whisper about strange lights over the Gulf, about sudden compass failures near the old flight path. Some say, on clear nights, radio operators pick up ghost calls, voices identifying themselves as Flight 703. The voices always sound tired, always lost, always asking for vectors that never come. There are even stories of people seeing the plane itself. In 2004, a commercial pilot claimed to spot a phantom jet flying parallel at impossible altitude, lights dim, fuselage outdated. When he radioed to ask its registration, no answer came. Radar logged nothing. In 2012, a cargo pilot reported a similar encounter, a twin-engine craft drifting silently beside him above the Pacific. When he drew closer, its windows appeared dark, its paint old and peeling. And then, as quickly as it appeared, it dissolved into mist. Skeptics argue these are illusions, tricks of the atmosphere, stress-induced hallucinations. But the families of the lost know better. To them, Flight 703 is not gone, it is trapped. Somewhere between our skies and another place. Some investigators believe the jet encountered a phenomenon we cannot yet explain. A rift in the atmosphere, a magnetic disturbance. A doorway, perhaps, that opened only briefly, swallowing the plane whole. The hum, they argue, was the signature of that force. Others whisper of something older, something that watches us from the skies as we once feared the sea. Lights that follow, sounds that linger, voices that do not die. Flight 703 was not the first aircraft to vanish, and it will not be the last. But its story remains uniquely haunting because of what it left behind. Not wreckage, not bodies, but fragments, messages, voices, glimpses of a plane that should not still exist. Some say the passengers are still aboard, circling forever in a twilight sky, unable to land, caught between worlds. Others insist they were taken, claimed by whatever intelligence controls those lights in the dark. Perhaps one day, when technology advances, we will discover what truly happened. Perhaps one day, the veil will lift, and the fate of Flight 703 will be revealed. But for now, it remains a warning, a reminder that not all skies are empty. Not all disappearances can be explained, and not all flights reach their destination. The story of Flight 703 is retold not in textbooks, but in whispers. Among pilots, among families who still leave lights on at night, waiting for a door to open, for a call to return. And somewhere out there, if you tune your radio carefully on a lonely night, you might hear it too. A faint voice, breaking through static, carried on frequencies we were never meant to hear. Seattle Center, this is Flight 703. Requesting clearance to land. Fuel low, a holding pattern. Please respond. But no one ever does, and the plane continues on, lost in a sky we cannot reach.